Welcome to Lessons in Books, a special edition of The Explainer. Before we jump in, please do us a huge favor. Share, like, subscribe, and click on that notification bell so you get to know when we drop a new explainer. All right, today we are unpacking the absolute timeless brilliance of Dale Carnegie, looking at material that truly has the power to completely transform the way you interact with the world.
Let me start off by asking you a quick question. What truly determines your financial success? Honestly, think about it. Do you believe it's your technical expertise, maybe your years of schooling, or your professional knowledge? Most of us are totally conditioned to think the answer is a resounding yes. But the data tells a completely different, honestly kind of unbelievable story.
Okay, let's dive into this. 85%. Research from the Carnegie Institute of Technology uncovered this shocking statistic. Literally, 85% of your financial success doesn't come from your technical prowess at all. It comes from something Carnegie called human engineering. Just look at this contrast. You've got this massive 85% slice representing personality, leadership, and your ability to deal with people against a tiny little 15% for actual technical knowledge. You can buy technical ability at a nominal salary, but the person who pairs that with the ability to lead and arouse enthusiasm, wow, that person writes their own ticket. So how do we actually master this 85%? Well, consider this explainer a paradigm-shifting roadmap. We're going to cover 1. The human engineering secret. 2. Baiting the hook. 3. The power of appreciation. 4. Navigating inevitable disagreements. And 5. Inspiring growth in others. We're going to subvert our default selfish settings and master real people skills.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the human engineering secret. To really grasp this, Carnegie says you need one absolutely indispensable requirement. And it's not some quick life hack. It's a deep, driving, vigorous determination to change how you interact with people every single day.
And here's the working definition we're using today. Human engineering is the ability to express ideas, assume leadership, and arouse enthusiasm among people. The crucial point here is that it requires a total mental shift. We literally have to stop thinking about what we want and start intensely focusing on what the other person wants.
Which brings us perfectly to Section 2, baiting the hook. Carnegie had this brilliant way of explaining human motivation, and he used a super simple outdoor hobby to do it, fishing. What's really interesting about this is how it mirrors our daily social blunders. Now, Carnegie loved strawberries and cream, but when he went fishing in Maine, he didn't bait his hook with strawberries and cream. Why? Well, because fish prefer worms. It sounds completely absurd to bait a hook with your own favorite dessert, right? Yet we do this constantly in our relationships. We endlessly talk about what we want, but the only way to influence someone is to talk about what they want, and then show them exactly how to get it.
Let's look at how this plays out in real life with Stan Novak and his young son Tim. So Tim was kicking and screaming on the floor, absolutely refusing to start kindergarten. Stan's first instinct? Yell and force him to go. But instead, he paused. He thought, if I were Tim, why would I want to go? Step 1. Think like Tim. So Stan and his wife sat at the kitchen table and just started finger painting. That's step 2. They made it look incredibly fun. Soon enough, Tim is begging to join in. Stan told him, oh no, you have to go to kindergarten first to learn how to do this. Step 3. He aroused an eager want. And you know what? The very next morning, Tim was sitting in the living room chair, fast asleep, waiting to go to school so he wouldn't be late.
That eager want ties perfectly into Section 3, the power of appreciation. If there's a secret to fulfilling the deepest urge in human nature, guys, this is it. The famous psychologist William James once said, "The deepest principle in human nature is the craving to be appreciated." Notice he didn't say a wish or a desire, he said a craving. We don't want cheap, insincere flattery, we crave genuine, heartfelt appreciation. It's what separates us from animals, and honestly, it's the absolute core of the golden rule. Take the incredible journey of Hall Caine. Caine was a blacksmith's son with only 8 years of formal schooling. But he deeply loved the poetry of Dante Gabriel Rossetti, so he wrote an essay genuinely praising Rossetti's work and sent it to him. Rossetti was so incredibly touched by this sincere appreciation that he actually hired the young blacksmith's son as his secretary in London. That single letter placed Caine right in the center of the literary world. He was mentored, encouraged, and eventually became one of the richest best-selling authors of his time, leaving behind a multi-million-dollar estate. That right there is the stupendous power of making someone feel genuinely important. But, what happens when we don't agree? Let's move to Section 4, navigating inevitable disagreements.
We all face conflicts, but arguing and bluntly telling people they're wrong is just a disastrous strategy. It hardens their hearts and threatens their self-esteem. Instead, try this. I may be wrong. I frequently am. Let's examine the facts. Say it slowly. Say it warmly. This right here is a magic phrase. Nobody in the heavens above or on the earth beneath will ever object to you saying, I may be wrong. It instantly disarms opponents, strips away their defensiveness, and completely stops arguments dead in their tracks.
Consider how Dodge dealer Harold Rank applied this. He used to get really hard-boiled with complaining customers, which, as you can imagine, just led to flared tempers and lost business. Then he flipped his approach. When a customer complained, he'd say, "Our dealership has made so many mistakes that I am frequently ashamed. We may have erred in your case. Tell me about it." By instantly admitting he might be wrong, those angry customers immediately softened, became completely reasonable, and get this, several even became repeat car buyers.
This kind of gentle approach is crucial when we want to actually change behavior. Welcome to our final section, inspiring growth in others. If you want to change someone, why use a whip when you can use encouragement? And this brilliantly illustrates the dynamic. Criticism withers abilities while encouragement blossoms them. Think about it. If you tell a child or an employee they're stupid at a task, you completely destroy their incentive to improve. But if you praise even the slightest improvement, if you make the fault seem super easy to correct, you give them hope. Let's anchor this with the story of a young boy in Naples. He longed to sing, but his first teacher harshly criticized him, saying his voice sounded like the wind howling in the shutters. It literally could have ended right there. But his peasant mother put her arms around him, praised him, and told him she knew he could sing. She even went barefoot just to save money for his music lessons. That relentless, unwavering praise completely changed Enrico Caruso's life, turning him into one of the greatest and most famous opera singers the world has ever known. So, as we wrap up this explainer, let's review your golden rules to take away right now. Ready? 1. Don't criticize or complain. 2. Give honest and sincere appreciation. 3. Try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view. 4. If you're wrong, admit it quickly. And 5. Always, always praise even the slightest improvements. I want to leave you with this one provocative question to think about. Who will you praise today? Look around your home, your office, your community. There is someone out there whose abilities are just waiting to blossom under the warm sunshine of your encouragement. Don't put it off. Take action today. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.